All right, good Monday afternoon, everyone. Thanks for stopping by for a check of your forecast. It is October 13th, year of our Lord 2025. We are getting really close to 4 o'clock this afternoon here in the Amarillo area. You're taking a live look outside, firstly, down in Paladuro Canyon State Park. You can see again, we've got a lot of clouds kind of streaming across the area right now. This is in conjunction with some of that tropical moisture from the Pacific from both Raymond and Priscilla. Again, a lot of this stuff is probably going to miss us. We'll break down those details on probably where we'll stay dry tonight, who's going to see those rain showers. Some of us will be happy with the rain, but others probably will be scratching their head wondering where the rain chances went. And so that's what we're going to break down here in your update. Let's take a look at your temperatures. We're at 66 here in Amarillo. Again, that cloud cover has really kept us a bit cool with that cold front also in place now with the north wind. 60 degrees in Perryton, 72 in Childress, and 74 down in Tulia. You can see again that cold front looks like it's kind of hung up there in the northern half of the panhandles, hence why we're in the 70s in the south and in the 60s the further north you go. Let's go ahead and take a look at your regional radar and water vapor imagery. You can see again we've got this plume of moisture down here over portions of northern Oklahoma and parts of Kansas. We've got another plume of moisture moving through parts of New Mexico and eastern Arizona. This will be the stuff that happens overnight tonight. You can see again, we've got quite a bit of cloud cover coming in over the front range of the Rockies there, the Sangre de Cristos, as well as part of the Sacramento Mountains. So we'll see again, a lot of the stuff's moving due northeast. So it's probably going to be the northwest panhandles and northeast New Mexico that benefit the most from some of this moisture. Still can't rule out some showers here to the south and east, but I think our rain chances are starting to decrease rapidly over here. And we'll start to see that chance of rain pop up and become more pronounced overnight tonight as you get into the northwestern corner of our viewing area. So here's your lows for tonight. We'll fall down into the 50s. It may be a little cool in the morning. Definitely going to be cloudy, especially in that northwest half of the region. Now, the southeast, we'll see a lot more sunshine tomorrow. So you guys will have a pretty good return to the 80s as far as temperatures are concerned. Those to the northwest, where we don't see any sunshine, will stay in the 60s. So we'll split the difference here in Amarillo, getting back up into those upper 70s for that afternoon high temperature. You can see 68 there in Clayton, New Mexico. Model still shows a lot of 70s up there. Again, if we see mostly cloud cover up there, I would be hesitant to say you'll get to 75 in areas like Boise City and Dalhart. I do think you'll get into the 80s in the southeast. Childress, 86. Silverton, 80 degrees, 82 for your high there in Clarendon tomorrow. So let's go ahead and show you what the model looks like. Again, you can see we've got mostly just cloud cover through the evening hours tonight, but a stray shower or two can't really be ruled out. As we roll past midnight, that's when that next plume of moisture gets closer to the area. You can see some scattered showers, perhaps a handful of weaker thunderstorms moving through the northwest zones of our area. As we get into the lunchtime hour Tuesday, you can see again still some sporadic showers, but the coverage starting to dwindle a little bit. But notice again, this is really favoring our northwest side of the high plains. So don't get your hopes up for rain if you're in Silverton, Childress, or Memphis. You guys probably stay dry for the remainder of tonight. And moving into Wednesday, you can see some cloud cover early on, but the afternoon looks like a beautiful day. Southeast wind, kind of breezy, 10 to 20 sustained, may even see some gusts around 30 miles an hour. And then as we move into the evening hours, you can see again maybe that next cold front trying to sweep across portions of the front range in Colorado, which we'll get to here in a second. So here's your rain outlook for the next 24 hours. Here in Amarillo, probably just a trace amount, not really expecting anything measurable, so you may want to go water the garden this week since you probably missed most of the rain. Areas up here in Union and northwest Quay County probably stand the best chance for that half inch of rain. It's just going to be very hit and miss, very spotty pockets where that does occur. Most of you guys probably ending up somewhere around a quarter inch. As you get down Highway 54, between Highway 54 and Highway 60, there's going to be some trace amounts, maybe a few hundreds here or there. Some other spots where if you get a good downpour, you get 2/10 of an inch of rain, but it's generally going to be light, and expecting mainly for us to stay dry in the southeast half of the panhandles for tonight and tomorrow morning. Let's take a look at our next weather maker. Again, we are in a relatively quiet pattern right now. We just have that tropical moisture moving through at the moment. We've got this really big trough that's going to, again, bring some really cold air up into the Canadian provinces. Probably going to see some more winter weather up there in the form of snow. The bigger story for us closer to home will be probably getting dry slotted Thursday into Friday, but that's not a guarantee. There is going to be probably a cold front that sweeps out across ahead of this big trough where the surface low sets up. We do expect probably some severe weather to set up with some of this stuff as well. It just looks like a lot of that's going to be outside of the panhandles. We're talking the Arklatex region, portions of the Boot Hill of Missouri, probably going to see a brunt of that severe weather threat. Here, again, we're going to be in that battle zone between the subtropics of the Gulf and the desert Southwest. So wherever the dry line or cold front sweeps across and we start seeing storms initiate, will be that split between dry and windy weather and probably some isolated to maybe perhaps scattered severe storms. Right now, I would lean towards us staying dry on Thursday and Friday. But again, this is still a few days away. There could be some adjustments. It just depends on how low or at least how far south this trough digs. But we'll probably see a cold front and a dry line sweep across the area later this week, which again, if we swipe out all that moisture, that's going to open the door probably for some colder mornings. Moving into the weekend, we may even see a handful of us dip into the 40s. Now, that's pretty average for mid-October, so it's nothing abnormal. It just means that we are getting further into the fall months. Now, as we get into the weekend, you can see we've got that big trough centered over Wisconsin and the northern peninsula of Michigan. Probably some rain and severe weather still, again, with that trough, just probably too far to the north and east to hit our latitudes. It's going to be up there in New England, parts of North Carolina, and likely West Virginia and Virginia seeing some strong to severe storms with that first system that comes through. Notice we've got this next trough coming through. You can start to see there's a lot more amplification in the weather pattern. This is just a good sign that we're starting to see some changes as we move into the fall and transition months where we go from summer to winter. There's a really strong jet that's starting to unfold over in Russia. They've had a lot of snowpack up in the northern latitudes. You get a really big temperature gradient that's going to set the stage for that jet to ramp up and increase. So my thoughts on this is as that jet moves across the northern Pacific, that's really going to start to allow a lot of these troughs to have some west to east progression and motion to them. So these are going to be very quick hitting systems. We're going to start seeing, I think, some more timely cold fronts, or at least on a much shorter time frame, probably on the order of just a few days rather than 7 to 10. And so that's going to be that step down process that we believe is going to start setting us up for some cooler days moving into the end of October. Does not guarantee that we'll see winter weather, certainly does not guarantee that we will see rain. I just think that that pattern eventually is going to unfold and we're going to start seeing a lot of these cold fronts come kicking south, and that's going to allow us to start cooling off here in the Texas Panhandle. Here's your 7-day tracker. We're going to hang on to a 20% chance of rain in Amarillo. Again, a lot of those rain showers will be further northwest, but we should be very comfortable over the next 7 days. I would encourage you to get out and enjoy some of this pleasant weather. Temperatures about 5 degrees warmer than normal, so nothing crazy hot. Certainly no record temperatures expected, but we will be a little bit above normal and generally should be dry moving through the next 7 days. That is all we've got for you this afternoon. Thanks for stopping by. Enjoy the rest of your evening.